To make a kind of French toast for dinner today. I'm making it early. You know, I make everything early. And I'm going to tell you about French toast. French toast in France is called a dessert, whereas in America, they use it for breakfast. Me, I use it breakfast, lunch, dinner, supper, whatever I'm going to use it for. But this one's going to be different. We're going to be baking it. It's not going to be your simple milk and eggs with maybe nutmeg or cinnamon. You take bought bread, slice it, put it in butter, and put it in a frying pan and toast it. This is going to be different. We're going to be baking it. Okay. This one, you'll probably have to make the bread yourself. I don't remember which one this is. But anyway, you need thick slices. Yeah, they're really going to have to be thick. All right, and you'll need 6 of them. These are big. I'm also going to use the apricot butter on these as well. So we're going to have a lot of flavors running through this. I have pecans here right now, and this is what I'm getting ready to chop. Get your oven set to 400. Make sure your shelf is in the middle. You know, I forgot my measuring spoons. I can't believe I keep doing this. All right, we are going to need 1 cup of chopped pecans. Good morning, everyone. We're having some French toast, but it's going to be called a honey-bun French toast because the slices are like super thick, and we're baking these. We're not doing what you know as French toast, which French would call the way we have French toast in America. They would be calling it a dessert and not a breakfast. Okay, but this is going to be for dinner today. I'm also going to use wild boar bacon with this, and I've made some fruit cocktails. I'm thinking about making some cottage cheese as well to serve with this for today. We need 1 cup of chopped pecans. I'm working on it right now. You don't want them super fine, but you don't want them so chunky. Sort of, I guess, a medium chop, I guess. I'm not sure. But they want it a little coarse. Is that good enough? Well, maybe a little more. Okay, that's it. 1 cup of pecans. You need a 9 by 13. In this 9 by 13, you're going to put exactly 4 tablespoons of unsalted butter in it. I have my 9 by 13 over there because I'm running out of room. Don't I always? Let's see if I can move this around. Sorry about that. Joseph at your front door. No, we have it at any time I want to have it. Let me get these nuts out of the way for now. We'll get to them soon enough. Now, to this butter that you've put in this dish, get the measuring spoon, Sandra. You need some honey. And you're going to need 3 tablespoons of honey in this 9 by 13 with the butter. You don't have to melt the butter, it's going in the oven. I'm going to be making 2 batches of this because I can't get all 6 slices in here. Well, I found out I don't have young teenagers on my YouTube channel as members. Most of you are 18 above. You should be extremely careful what you're saying, because if you have a mouth like that, you're young. Tells everybody on this channel that you were not raised properly. Matter of fact, you're probably raised. Barn would be too good. Let's say the gutter. Now, when that oven hits 400, you are going to put this butter and honey that we just put in the 9x13, and we're going to stick it in the oven, and we're going to melt it. And all we're going to do is melt the butter and honey until it's a little bubbly, and then we're going to pull it back out, and we're going to start putting this dish together. Hi, Diamond, Joseph. Okay, Joseph, and good morning, Boo Boo. Artist. Yeah, I found out you have to charge the moderators. They also sat there and told me that I have to pay moderators, and on top of that, it has to be somebody that I know very well, and I don't know anybody on the computer. Hi, Dawes, Mattis. Oh, wash your face. Wake up, young one. That is true. Mattis, yes. All right, so while this is going, we have some other things we have to do. But that's what we're waiting for the oven to hit 400, and we can put that in, and we'll get that going. And the other part is, I know you're not going to believe this part. Yeah, they'll fit this. All right, you're going to put 4 large eggs in a bowl. Hi, Joseph, Artist, and Smelter. Smell? I think I said that right. All right, Artists, if you want to, you can knock them off if they're being rude. I eat vegetarian meals, but I eat meat. So I'm not a vegetarian. I do have some vegetarian dishes that I like, but no, I'd miss all the wild game and everything. And I'd miss my filet mignons. I would miss my standing rib roast. I would miss meat pies and other things that I like, and pizzas. So no, I couldn't afford to be a vegetarian. We're making a honey bun French toast. It's different than what you know and differently put together, but I have tried them and they're really nice. I've made them twice already and we enjoy them, so why not? I need a measuring cup. Here's the part that'll probably get you. We're going to put 2/3 of a cup of apple cider vinegar. I can hear all of you choking, go, you gotta be kidding me. No, you're kidding. Oh my goodness. We're actually going to mix this with apple cider vinegar. Believe you me, it's really good. Yes, I can break it with one hand. I just didn't do it. Good morning, Jason. Oh God, things are moving so fast I can't read it all. Yes, it's very good, apple cider vinegar. Okay, you guys are going too fast. I can't read that fast, keeping up with you and doing this. Okay, we're almost up to 400. You're going to pour the vinegar in with the eggs. And now we're going to put cinnamon in here. Now, measuring spoons, where did I put them? Okay, here you are. What do I need for cinnamon? I found this recipe and I really like it. 1/4 of a teaspoon of cinnamon in your eggs with your vinegar. And you're also going to add 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt as well. Now I am not using my mixture because I don't want it to interfere with this flavor. America's Home Cooking. Yes, Vicki, I cook on here. I'm getting ready to make a cook-along. Come cook with me. I think I like that title better. Come cook with me and we'll cook dishes together. There are people that are having trouble doing some of the simplest meals. I mean, as simple as making biscuits and getting the ratio right. So we might as well go ahead and start doing that and showing the ratios. One person wants to know the difference, and we need some allspice. And they say a pinch, but I put a little more in because I like it. It goes very well together. So we're going to be having a cook-along to help these people that are having trouble. Do I have anything else I have to put in here? Okay, we got that. I already got the bread done. I already know that. We already have the honey and that going. Okay. All right. At 400, we're putting this in to melt this. And I'm going to be making 2 batches, and we're going to have wild boar bacon with this, like I said, and I'm thinking about making some cottage cheese with this dish so we can sit there and have the fruit cocktail on top of it. It's a light dinner, but it'll be a nice dinner. Okay. So you probably have to make bread unless you have a place that can actually sit there and cut the bread for you, like a bakery. They're talking really big, thick slices. I think they're about 1 inch thick. Not the thin ones that you get. You can see how we do ours differently. Okay, I'm going to have to, we're going to have to move you. So I'm getting ready to move you, believe it or not. You're welcome, Julie. I'm thinking about next week telling you what day I will do it. It's just that we have more snow coming in, and that messes it. So if the weather's bad, you can't seem to see what we're doing. So we'll have to make sure it's on a clean day so you can do it. But we'll be making also our own vinaigrettes, in other words, our own salad dressings. We'll be making muffins, and as we get further advanced, you'll be learning to cook steaks and meats in the proper ways of doing things. In this way, they're small, but it'll build up a level of foundation for you to work on. If you want to learn to make mayonnaise, we can do that as well. I can show you how to make your own mayonnaise and everything else. Okay, now we have to mix this up in this. I'm going to need this one this time. When you mix this up, you want to make sure it's thoroughly mixed, or you're going to notice some sections will have more flavor than the other. I'm trying to crack a yolk, it doesn't want to break. Sandra, you're going to throw it. Yeah, I just did. Yeah, I know it. But you can see they use vinegar instead of milk on this, which is nice. It's different. To make the American one is real easy. I'm not using these. You're a bloody mess. I'll use a fork. Can't do it one way, I'm going to do it another way. I'm going to teach scones as well. And a woman asked me what was the difference, so we'll be talking about the ratio of flour to butter and stuff, and you'll see that it's a little different, but that little bit of difference makes a big difference if you're going to get scones or if you're going to end up with biscuits. And I'm thinking next week, giving you a date that we'll start doing it. This week something came up, so I'm sort of having to hold off a bit. We'll learn to make cornbread, and you'll learn the reasons why, and how to test things if you don't know how to cook, because it seems there are a lot of people who don't know how to cook, or simple things that they buy. And for those of you that want to learn to can, I can in the spring, so we can do some canning if you want. There's two kinds of canning. There's pressure canning and there's water bath canning. I recommend if you're going to learn to can, do water bath first, because pressure canner is a little more dangerous. Hello, DR. Z-1. Okay, good morning. Good morning to all of you. Thank you, Liv. We'll be checking that butter and honey. I'll have to get a mat to do it. When I'm done with this, I'm going to be cooking boar bacon. When you cook bacon, if you use a high heat thinking you're cooking it fast, you're actually burning it. So you have to be okay, food if you wish. DR, I am making some honey bun French toast for us for dinner today. Because my family's got crazy hours. I have crazy hours. Maybe someday I'll actually be fixing breakfast. And thank you for the heart, Liv. Those are beautiful. I don't know how you guys do it, but they're really nice. Thank you very much. See how I whipped this to make sure that that egg was mixed up? You want to do the... Oh, these are. They have a Honey-Bun orange French toast. That gets a yes, but the Honey-Bun French toast is really good. And for those of you who are just coming in, French toast, if you go to France and ask for French toast, they give you a dessert. In America, you ask for French toast, they'll think breakfast. I found this recipe. I share accident, the cookbook flipped up. Oh, I found a cookie that we want to make. Let me get my cookie book and I'll show you the cookies we're going to be making. This really caught my attention. I'm hoping next week to make chocolate walnut fudge cookies. And that'll teach us how to work with chocolate. So if you want to go into the candy area, this will give you some foundation to move forward if you want to learn how to make candy. No, I wanted to know where these comments were coming from. And I said, are these the young ones under 18? And so I checked in my YouTube, the section that shows me there, and it says, no, you don't have young ones on. I don't have them that young. Let's say there aren't enough of them there that it even registers. Don't they? I have to go shopping Friday and pray they have everything I need. going to take this 9 by 13 out. It is done. No, it's not done. Not yet. Let me stir it around. Wrong one. Second. It's not done melting yet. I just moved it around. We have to wait for that butter and honey. How old are you, IRV? Well, you don't come up. There has to be so many of you before it registers 1% or a 0.5%, and there's not a lot of you there, so it doesn't show up that young people really aren't on this. But I know that cookie book, I was looking at it this morning because I said I'm going to be making some cookies I really wanted. Man, I have graham crackers in there. I have coconut cookies that have the way they're put together is just amazing. Oh yeah, you're young at 48 because I'm 72. You're a child in my eyes. I'm sorry. When we get up there, it actually comes to the point when I told my girlfriend, I said, look, I'm 72. She said, I'm 74. I mean, you get down to the day we actually do this, you know, who's the oldest. So she's older than me, but I am older than my other girlfriend. And she said, I'm getting old. And I said, how are you? She said, I'm in my 40s. I said, oh, really? I'm in my 70s. You know, we actually play these games that we go along. So when you get older, you'll probably get into it. 19, you're going to be a young man very shortly. 76 here. Okay. All right. So you have to beat me by 4 years. Artist. So you actually beat me. There's somebody older than me on here. Okay. Hello, Terry. And you're 24. Lil, you're young. But there's somebody finally older than me on this channel. Okay, let's see. Come on, butter, hurry up and melt so we can get this going. You're actually waiting for the butter to melt. You do not want the honey to get dark and crystallize. It'll mess up your dish. Okay, DR, enjoy your day. Oh, we're in England. What part of England, may I ask? Hi, Angel. Thank you, Angel. You're just right over there. I have to think of my bearings. You're over in that direction. Goodbye, artist. Yeah, I think he's going to go get a rest, or he's either going to work. He's heading out. Yeah, he's probably going to work. Waiting for this is taking forever for this butter. Oh, it's melted good. We did it. Okay, I'm going to turn you down so you can see what I'm doing. I remember this was 3 tablespoons of honey and 4 tablespoons of butter. Put it in. Good morning. Listen, all right, what you're going to do is take your 1 cup of pecans and you're going to lay it all over this. And make sure you spread it all out. It'll be very important. Okay, I haven't made this in about 6 months. Thoroughly saturating, but not falling apart. All right. Now, in the egg mixture that you have, you can't see it. It's right under you because I just don't have enough room. You're going to dip these really thick slices of bread. You cannot use thin bread. If you do, this whole dish is just going to fall apart. All right. You're going lay them in here. That's exactly what you're going to do. I don't remember which bread this was that I made. I just make it, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'll take the bigger pieces first. We'll do the smaller ones later. And you coat this bread really good. That's what I'm doing right now, underneath you, soaking it, turning it. I'm going to gift you. Okay. I don't know what you mean. Okay. Now you're going to put this back in the oven. And we're going to let this cook. The top will be a golden brown and the bottom will be bubbly. It's going to take about 20 minutes. Now you can serve it immediately or you can pack it up. I've packed it so I know it works. All right, about 11 after, 15 after, somewhere around there. And I have 2 more pieces I have to do. And I can't do those until I finish those. So this is where we're at now. And this is just going to bake. Now they come out really, really nice. They have unique. If you have different grains, you'll notice. Thank you. Iskit, okay? We're making honey roasted French toast, which is different from what we know in America. So it's different in this way. I've had these and these are really good. And we're going to take the rest of the apricot butter and that's what we're putting over it, which will really be nice. See, this is what we're putting over it, so I think it'll be good today. Now, the second batch I make after I make this batch, I'll have to put it out. I'm going to have to use another pan. I need an... Yeah, it should fit in an 8x8. I'm trying to think of an 8x8. We're making French toast. But like I said, it's not the French toast you know. We have to use thick bread, and we also are going to be baking it. So it's different. It's also got apple cider vinegar. It's got honey and butter and stuff. We also use allspice. And cinnamon is what I did. And cinnamon. So it's a different combination of how we do it. But if you're in France, don't ask for French toast for breakfast because they look at it as dessert. All right. So that's where we're at right now. I'm going to have... Now for this other part, which is only half of what I've just made, I need 2 tablespoons of butter. I know, I tell you never to do it, and I just did it. You don't have to see what I did. I wasn't supposed to. All right, let's see. We'll need a tablespoon and a half of honey for this one. See, I don't have something big enough to hold 6 of these, and that's what they want. And it's just not going to happen. So I have to make 2 batches. Okay, half, Sandra. have to chop up a half a cup of nuts to get the right ratio for this. And I don't have to worry about the eggs mixture because it was already set for the 6 slices. I just didn't have a pan big enough for it, that's all. This is going to go over here. We need a half a cup of nuts. I have a apple cider donut recipe from my girlfriend she gave me. I thought about making them, but I was so busy I didn't make them, but they're great just around Halloween to make them. And they're really delicious. I know you can buy them in the store now. This is where the store takes over these recipes, and then people get lazy and they take it away from us. And now I see these people who say they're chefs. They say, come and we'll feed you. You just pick out what you want off our menu, and you'll get high quality. You go to those big stores and buy the same thing women buy, except in smaller quantities. You dress it up and then call it good. Like, I was tempted to buy a bone broth from the store and compare it to mine and see how it looked. I bet you it's not as rich as mine. Okay, I just chopped pecans, that's all I did. I'd already done it earlier. This is a half a cup for the other half of the batch that I don't have enough room for. So I do apologize on that. The other ones had already seen what I had done. Okay, nothing more to do. We've got the nuts for the other part that I didn't have room for. I have the bread already sliced nice and thick, as you can see. They're not small. Matter of fact, a whole loaf will get you 6, and you'll have 2 ends of your bread left, and that's it, if you make your own bread. So we have everything ready. And see, I have the butter and the honey here. I have to wait for that to come out so I can start a second batch on this. Okay, so that's it for now. So, yes, I do. I can't frost worth beans. I hate to be honest with you, but I'd like to say I'm really good at frosting, but I'm really on my frosting. But my cakes taste great. Oh, I could make a joke on where am I from. I could say my mommy and daddy. I'm from America. And you're in my kitchen watching me do things that I do. But next week, I'm definitely going to we'll set up a time, and I'll tell you everything that you need and give you the proper measurements. And then that way you can see how changing ratios change everything. Like cakes are a 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You have 4 eggs, you have 3 cups of flour, you have 2 cups of sugar, and you have, you see, 1 cup, wait a minute, it's 1 cup of sugar, 2 cups of, anyway, so 1, 2, 3, 4. Once you know, I forgot that ratio, that's how rare I make cakes. So it's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Biscuits are a 2 to a third ratio. It just goes in different directions of what you're going to do. A scone is a different ratio. If you add other things, I found some more cranberries. I am going to make chili lime scones and see how they come out. I mean, the muffins didn't last. The apricot muffins were gone. One son said, Mommy, I got a big glass of milk, and all what I did was I kept on eating. I said, well, how many did you eat? He said, I ate 4 and I didn't want to stop. And then my other son came in and he said, what are these? He tried one. He said, oh, this is good, Mommy. He got a glass of milk and he proceeded to eat them as well. I got the last 3. I claimed them as mine, and I told them, you're not touching them, they're mine. A vegetarian? No, I have vegetarian recipes and pie crusted stuff for people who are vegetarian, but I am not. I mean, maybe when God comes and straightens this world out, we won't be killing anymore. We won't have to eat meat or fish or anything. I will miss the filet mignons, though, and standing rib roast. Anyway, Sanford. Oh, you're up already, Betty? Good morning. Hi, Jessica. No, but when God straightens it all out, we'll be back on track again. After all the punishments we're going to go through for everything we've done and not done. And yeah, it could add up on our tails. We could really put myself in trouble. One time I watched 100, thank you. I saw this person. French toast, yeah, I know, it's good. Hi, Nisa. My husband's a Rhodes Scholar. That means he could go to any college. He spoke 5 languages and all. So he was going to go to Edinburgh to go for college. These are very smart people. Hey, love. Yeah. Nice to see you from the United Kingdom. And the godfather of our children was also Rhodes Scholar, very highly intelligent. I always felt stupid around them. I used to listen to them and I said, I'm not smart. You know, this is how I always saw myself when I was around them. 10 p.m., Jessica from Australia. Hi, I'm saying good morning. You're getting ready to say good night. And they were having a debate. I listened to them. They were really discussing something, and I was listening. You know, I think I was knitting at that time or embroidery. And I finally put down my work. I listened to it for a whole hour going back and forth. Good morning, everybody. Hi, Joyce. Hi, Betty. Amber, Band, Jessica. And what happened was I let them go for a whole hour. And I finally turned to them and said, are you talking about this? And they laughed and they said, yes. I said, you know what you did wrong? I said, this is in my point of view. Is when you get really smart people, they go down to the finer details, trying to take something apart. And when you do that, I said, you're losing it. You guys are really losing it. You go too far in depth and can't see it for what it is because you want to tear it apart at every corner, every angle. So I won't get in those kinds of conversations because I've watched them, and they understood what I was saying is that they just went and lost it when they went too far. And I know some people try to do that with me, and I said I'm not going to go there. Hi, Tim. And that's pretty much it. We're just waiting for it now to cook. Don't worry, we got about 7 minutes, and we will be checking it out and get the second one on. Yeah, it is better, Jessica. And I listen to them. And I always tell people, in my simple opinion, like I've seen people talk Bible, and they'll tear it one way to another. He says, but God says it here, and then he says it here, but what about this? What about that? And they're cross-indexing, trying to prove a point that there isn't a God or there is a God, and they lose the whole value of it. And then they ask me what I think, and I said, well, I put it very simple. I'm going to put it A, B, C, D, and that's how I am. I don't know. I would like to see the Super Bowl. I don't know who's playing. Does anybody know who's playing the Super Bowl? I would love to see a Super Bowl. I haven't seen a Super Bowl since my husband died, and that's 15, 16 years ago. So let me know who's there. I have a few. I like the Green Bay Packers, The Steelers really live up to their name, Wicked Group. I like the Green Bay Packer. No, Green Bay and the Cowboys are my groups. New England and Seattle and Seahawks are playing in the Super Bowl. Okay, thanks a lot, Angel. Hi, Bad. We're waiting for this. Now, I'm going to have to move you over here so you can see the stove because I have to put another batch on. Okay, so I'm going to have to put you to the stove. So I'm on YouTube. I think they want me to pay for the Super Bowl game, but I don't want the halftime. That's what I don't want to see is the halftime. That is what's upsetting me about this Super Bowl. I don't like what's happening. I've already seen a little bit of what's coming down, and I don't like it. I don't mind seeing the game, but if I have to sit there and when they go for the part time at halftime, I'm going to turn it off. I don't want to see that garbage. I'll just cut that out. I don't need it. No, Jessica, I leave mine very simple. I have some basic ABCs. I believe in reincarnation. I believe in the law of karma. I believe in the law of grace. And I know of the different kingdoms, so I make it simple and it's right for me. It answers a lot of questions. And because I did have some questions, I had simple questions. And I couldn't understand some things, but that's what I did, and that's how I believe. I have talked about it some when I have been asked about it to explain how I feel. I don't push it on to anybody, but it answers a lot of questions for me. Sometimes the church doesn't have the answers, and sometimes you have to go to other places, or you have to look inside yourself, because if you have questions, you wonder why, you know? Victor, what are you talking about? Oh, you're talking about, yeah, the Super Bowl? Yeah, I know. I've come to that conclusion. I'm not happy about it. But I do have a right to press the button, blink, and come off when it's on and then come back. Because I remember going to it at the Houston Dome when it was first built. And it was something. The only thing is I didn't like my father. He got us out during the last parts of it. He didn't want to stay. He wanted to beat all the traffic because he said, I have to do the driving, and that was it. What do you mean, SV Stefka? What do you mean? Explain yourself. And then maybe we can get an understanding going here. SVE, Steve? Look inside yourself. You mean you know better than God? I don't know better than God, but I know I'm going to have to answer to him. At least I have my answer. I already know what my answer is. I can't deny it, so I'm just going to have to blubber it out. 2 more minutes. Okay, now that I can hardly see. How can a preacher or a minister or the father of a church who doesn't believe in God and believes more in evolution explain God? Now tell me, answer that one. How can they explain God? They don't even believe it. Dan, I'm not Betty. I'm Sandy, Sandy. Unless you want to call me by my, and not use my nickname, you can call me by my first name, Sandra. So, No, the way I believe to help you, Jessica, is I know there are different kingdoms. There's an animal kingdom, there's an insect kingdom, there is a planet kingdom, and a plant kingdom, and our kingdom, mankind. Okay? We cannot go into another kingdom. Okay? But insects, if they want, they can be a different kind of insect in another life. Humans are the same. We come through as male or female, all right, according to what we have to do. That's our kingdom. Now, the law of karma is you remember Cain and Abel? One son killed the other. Okay, that one who got killed has to come back. This is where reincarnation comes in. He has to come back, and he either has the law of karma, he's going to do what his brother did to him, or either he's going to forgive him, the law of grace. Okay? Now, I know that we're all at different levels of growth. Look at it like a long stairway, or look at Wall Street. That's a good way of looking. Some lives you do well, others you drop down, but you're always heading in an upward motion. So we slip. Now, karma are the things that we have done to other people that we've probably hurt, be it physical, mental, with our mouth, saying things. When we come back, these souls can forgive you, or they can sit there and do it to you so you know how they feel, and then you carry that. This is how this works. We don't get away with anything, be it thought or action, nothing, or it comes out of our mouth. We will pay for everything. So if you said harsh words to somebody in this life and you never see him again, but that soul is hurt by those harsh words, God will make sure that those words are said to you, or that soul can forgive you, but you will have to experience the hurt that you have caused them. You see, so we don't get away with anything. So you think you get away, and if you kill yourself, you drop down, because suicide is against the law of God. It could be. They have some souls, like the woman who was Noah. When she got a reading, she's been a woman so many times she doesn't know how to be a man. Now, I was a man. Believe you me, I suck as a man. Okay, I am one ugly man. And now let me get this one on. Gotta get this one in here. Now, I'm transgender. If you are a soul and you've come back, let's say a lot of times as a female, and then you come back as a man, you have trouble adapting to it because you've been a man more. Now, if you've been a woman more, well, if you've been a woman a lot, and then you come in as a man, you'll notice he has more feminine qualities about him. That's because that soul knows how to be a female more than a man. Now, some men periodically have to come back as women. If they're always men, they're going to have to come back as women. And when they do that, they have that pull. They feel masculine, but they're looking, say, look, I got breasts, I got hips, man. This is not, you just feel uncomfortable. That's because you've been the other sex so many times, and you sort of have to adjust to it. That's all, because when you come through a body, it's not haphazard that you're a male or you're a female. You have to be the sex that you're born to go through the karma that you have to go through in this life. But you can always request before you come through. You can ask, can I come back as a female? Can I come back as a male? As long as what you have to deal with is in that vein, you're given that permission. Now, souls that have made it all the way through their karma, have dealt with everything, they look down on the souls that are struggling down here. And they feel for them, because we're all brothers and sisters, and we're all created. So they come back down to the earth to help. And sometimes in their helping, they fall down and they have to climb back up. But it's all of us trying to help all of us to move forward. This is why Jesus did so much. Like he said, if you're angry, sit there and talk about it. Go to your neighbor, do these things, forgive. He was showing us how we could have a better life and make things better for ourselves. But do we listen? No. Mankind is obstinate, hard-headed, and everything else. Stiff-necked. I studied it. I studied. Believe you me, I had questions. I really did. I even got the old Bible. What is it? 1613 Bible? The first Bible. I got that. And 1/3 of the whole book is missing. And now they're changing the language in the new Bibles and everything. I have the old one written the way it is. I don't always understand what I'm reading, but I do. I went to I learned about ARE, and I studied in some of those. They had questions for me through the readings that answered things for me. Books. Why don't you, instead of just reading the Bible, go to the ARE. You'll have to be a member to get these things. My husband and I were members, and we studied. What came through those readings disturbed Edgar Casey so much. But all of it, this is where businesses have learned a lot from his readings and all, and the things that we have learned today. But I did that. So you have to go and look and study. Mine was the ARE. I don't like to talk about this often, but I'm also gifted. So I have that sight as well. So I have more of an insight than most people on some things. No, you go to people who have to hate, that you have to learn from. Sometimes your parents aren't, in this life, are not equipped, or they'll cause you to falter. So what they have to do is they put you to people who you can help. You might have a grandfather in this life, and do you come back as a grandson? Sometimes a soul does. Sometimes it doesn't happen. There are other souls. They've grown from that group, and they have to move to another group higher up. This is how we help each other. So I look at it like Wall Street. We're all going in an upward direction like this. Sooner or later, you're getting there. So I know that I had karma with my father. I was his daughter before, and he sold me for money. And he comes through in this life. Money means everything to him. I hope in this life he learns, Well, the butter's not melted yet. We have to wait for the butter. But my father hasn't changed that much. Okay. Now, I might as well show you how to serve these. I'll get a plate up. This will be mine because I'm going to eat before everybody else, all right? Now, you saw the bread come out, right? Let me turn you. I hope that other one doesn't get done before we finish this. All right. Let me see if I can turn you. All right, the bread's upside down, right? That's how you turn it over. You put all the nuts and stuff on top of it, see? That's hot. Dang hot. Oh my God. If I don't blister, I don't know what will. I'm not using my fingers anymore. Dang, if I'm going to burn them on this. This is how it's served. Okay, that's how you serve it. I'm going to have bacon with it, cottage cheese and stuff. And that's like candy on top of the bread. And that's what it's at. Yeah, I'm okay. My finger's a bit red though. Experience sleep. Yes, I have experienced that. And it was frightening. I'm going to try to melt this. Sleep paralysis, I have experienced it. It's usually when somebody's in the room, a spirit. These are low plane. Sometimes your loved ones will come and visit you. But you also have to remember, demons are angels that have fallen, and they can play with your mind. And I was always taught from young, never invite. If the doorbell rings, do not answer it. Unless you see somebody at the door before you open the door. Because their energy, and they can manipulate energy. That's why we're seeing things with cameras and stuff now. Because of the energy that's used. So now you know how these things are served. No, there are angels, good angels, and then you have the fallen angels. The fallen angels are easier to get to people on earth. And this is where they can get you. Alcohol, drugs, medication, all of that can interfere with you protecting yourself. And when you deny it, or when you destroy the body, the human body, and do things to it, that's opening it. You write a demon or something on your body, you're calling it. Well, if we're supposed to get a time frame from one life to another. Now, if you kill yourself, you're brought back right away, okay, from what I have read. But we're supposed to get a time when we die. We say goodbye to our loved ones. A lot of the times, people don't realize it, but loved ones stand there when you do the funeral or things that you say, and they can hear you, okay? I didn't say that. Mental illness is real. I don't know. I can't answer that phone. So we're waiting for that. Now, where did I put that mat? Oh. This is my belief. This is what I talk about, what I believe. I don't know what you believe. It could probably be a lot different. I don't know what to put on other than nuts. You could try raisins. Maybe that would be nice. I don't know. Or cranberries or something. But if you leave the nuts off, you're still going to get that butter and mixture and the egg and all. So if you want to leave the nuts out, you can. I'm sure it'd be just as good. I just happen to like nuts. Okay? Look, when it comes to mental illness, some of it's possession. I've seen it. Okay? I saw the demon, but when you drink and take drugs, you open the Pandora box. I mean, you don't have any self-control and you invite them in. If that doorbell rings, I will look out a window. If I don't see somebody, I'm not going to answer it because that's how you invite them in. Yeah, just try. Let me know how it is. You could try it. S more, I don't know. Lactose intolerant. Don't they have lactose intolerance? I don't know much about people who can't handle milk and certain things. Can you use a different milk? I don't know. I couldn't answer that. They recommend heavy cream, but I know they have lactose. They use almond milk. You can make your own almond milk. I did do a video show you how to make your own almond milk if you want, instead of the one you buy in the store, which is better. And what's another milk they can use? Can you use coconut milk? You know, I'm just thinking of things that you can use. Yeah, I don't know about oat milk. I can't answer that. I use regular milk. The only thing I have a problem with is caffeine. Okay, that's my big thing. We didn't clock those. Shoot a brick. You didn't tell me. Okay, let me get these out. They should be cool enough now. These, after I burnt my finger. But two of these make a nice meal. Still using my finger, it's still hot. But you could have scrambled eggs with these. You could put bacon with this. You can use breakfast sausages with it. And yes, I made my breakfast sausages. See, I didn't have to, the nuts here actually give you a lot of B vitamins and stuff. It is tacky. It is messy. Just letting you know. Good morning, Stacy. Well, can you handle powdered milk? I don't know. See, when I grew up, there weren't intolerance to a lot of foods. This is all very recent. Before we didn't have that. Now I'm getting all the plates ready. I can't believe you didn't tell me I had to clock at 20. Okay. Well, we're going to have to wing this one then. And see how it comes out. We're making French toast. Different from anything that you know. Nemesis. And then I'll be putting stuff up. I've got to get the bacon started. Hold on, I'm going to have to get the pan out for the bacon. Might as well get that going so I don't have to do it later. Now when I do bacon, we're all human beings. I'm sure we all have some generic things different. Now, I always add a little bit of oil to my frying pan before I do bacon because bacon has a tendency to burn if you're not careful. No. Okay, this burner. Get the bacon. See, wild boar. You don't need a lot of oil, just a little oil in your frying pan. You're going to get a lot of fat from your bacon, but the thing is that you don't want it to burn before you start building that up. Oh, come on. This bacon I got from Sayerbook, Sayerbook. It's wild boar. It's cut thick. You have muscular dystrophy? Jessica, is that what you're talking about? Like I said, a lot of these diseases are, it's not bad luck. In my book, it's not bad luck, okay? I have crooked teeth. I don't absorb them too well. I have, I don't absorb magnesium well because it's not in the food. So I know what you're talking about. But the thing is that my mother drank when she carried me. Happy Wednesday to you, Sherry. You can say it's bad luck, but it's not. A lot of it's diet. You've done a lot of wrong. Good morning, Infamous. If you've done a lot of wrong in one life, I could see you're going to come back. If you pick on disabled people and make them feel less than, well, you will have to come back as disabled to understand what it feels like, and they can taunt you, and then you'll remember not to do it to people. Okay, that's a very thin coat of oil that I've got in this. Yeah, there's a lot of illnesses right now. And getting old doesn't help either, because they have their own as well. The thing is that I show people how to eat healthy, how they can take their food and make it healthier than what it is, to try to prevent a lot of things from happening. But some people won't change, and they'll just sit there and say, oh, it's just part of life. And I say, no, I think it's the things that are done that we cause our own problems. I've had people say, you got to do this, you got to do that, you got to do this after I became an adult. And I said, I'm going to do what I have to do. You are not in my shoes, okay? I'm not in your shoes. I'm in my own shoes, and I'm having to deal with my own issues. Everybody can say that. You're not in my shoes. I understand. But we have to make decisions of our own. Okay, Jessica. Good morning, Infamous. Who's behind me? Let's see. Who's ever looking over me, which I hope is my husband or my boyfriend or Jesus or God who wanted to come see me. need I continue? Yes, and if your mother doesn't eat right, like my mother, liking to drink at a young age, you could end up with problems just as much. So what I do nutritionally is try to keep mine at bay as little as possible. John, if somebody has a beard, okay. No, I've never made bacon pancakes. Huh? Infamous. I had a husband over 40 years, or just 40 years. After he died, I think 2-3 years later, a man walked into my life. He became my boyfriend. He died 9 years later. I'm not burying anybody else. Both were very responsible men. They knew what they had to do, and I picked two good ones. And remember, women, I'm talking from my point of view, okay? Not putting yours down. I'm just saying from my point of view, I got two good ones in this life. My husband and I had 3. You can see we're not burning this bacon. We don't have it on a really high heat. Oh, don't think I don't miss those 2 men in my life. They were both so different, but they were so responsible. They knew they would be the head of the house. They knew their responsibilities. They helped, let's say, they helped pick me up as a woman. You know, that's what men do. When you have a good man, he helps to elevate you better than you were. Did they have faults? Both of them had their faults. I knew their faults, and I tried to help them through those faults. That's what we're supposed to do. We're that gentle side of man, and he needs us. But when women are as brutal as they are today, men find more comfort in themselves than with women because you're not gentle. And we're not strong. I don't care what women say. Oh, I can do what a man can do. No, you don't have the stamina. You don't have the mind frame that they have, and it's so different from ours. So people don't always think of that, but it is very true. The older women knew that. I mean, I'll go out and I'll work, and I'll try to help somebody. But I can only give so much, and then I know at that point I can't go any further. And not because I've had, see, you don't want the bacon burnt. You just want it cooked very nicely. Okay, these are almost done. That's why you put a little bit of oil in so it doesn't burn the pan. You see how nice that comes out? Yeah, you can bake it. Just like if you're making meatloaf, don't put the sauce or the bacon on until that last 30 minutes. That's the trap. A lot of people put it on at the beginning and it gets real hard, or the sauce gets real dry that you put on it. Even if it's ketchup, you know. But chefs all try to make a name for themselves doing something different than the other ones have done. So they can make their own, let's say, fingerprint on cooking. I'm going to get this out. And here's another plate. There's a whole design of those. We're just flipping them upside down. It's the machinery that does the job, hon. They only guide it. And believe you me, there's a man standing by. This is women who think that they're equal to men. It's the machinery. Take the machinery away and tell me, can she do it? This is what I'm talking about. The machinery makes it level. What you would call more of a level playing field. But without the machinery, this is where I accept the fact that I'm not as strong as a man, and I know my place because of that. I can't answer that. I'm sorry. Good night, Jessica. Yeah, you pour the sauce on top of it, or the bacon. Towards the end of it, you know, because the sauce gets real dry, and a lot of people don't realize that when you put it on at the last, it holds that moisture over the top as you cook it, so the top of the meatloaf doesn't get that dry. I can't answer, Sean. Okay. I'm sorry about that. My son was most persistent, and I had to tell him I'm doing a live. He said, okay, sorry, bye. So where are we? You're very welcome, Nemesis. Hello, Nick. Yeah, you put it on the last 30 minutes, the sauce. It's really nice. It'll prevent the rest of the meatloaf from drying out on top. You get that meat cooking, but the last 30 minutes you pour the sauce on it. It'll keep the moisture, and because most of the time the edge on the top of the meatloaf is dry. This is to protect it. Okay. And I am sorry that I had to stop you for a minute to answer that. Because my sons, once they start calling, they don't stop. So as you can see, putting that little bit of oil in with your bacon just keeps it from burning that first batch when you put it in. And I'm going to use a whole pound of this because we really like this bacon. I had to buy 5 pounds. So I think it was $50, and I held it. I wouldn't use it all at once. And this has really got a lot of good flavor in it. Yes, it is, Sheree. It is a cooking station. Good morning, Darlene from Tennessee. For you that are coming in, we made French toast, but we made it much different. You'll have to see the video later. Karina? Let's see, Tennessee? Aren't you in the same time zone as I am? It's 7:45. I think you would be in the same. All right, at Easy, I'm going to say it like that, okay? Stephanie, good morning. I think Tennessee's in the same time zone I'm in. Bread baking is my specialty. I was thinking about a bread that I want to make, and I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm thinking about it. Came across and I said, I wonder. But that was my specialty. My mother's was, she could set up for a party. My grandmother, candy. You know, every woman has their specialty in the kitchen if you people cook. Well, I was just using the first part, Ezekiel. It's cold here too. Oh yeah, you're higher than I am, Massachusetts. I know it's cold up there. Now, if there were hunters here, I would ask you a wild question, just to find out if you'd ever seen something. I would just like to know, because it's coming across a lot. And have any of you seen what they call a Sasquatch or Bigfoot? I'm just being nosy now. Have you? Because they say that they are very, they don't like pictures taken of them or anything. French toast and wild boar bacon. From bread, yeah, you can use chickpeas with it. Hello, Kaylee. Tommy. Tommy too, what? Whatever that means. Really? Okay. I used to go camping with my parents. At this point, when I started reading about that, I said, well, if he's vicious, I ain't sticking around. Temperature, oh God. I think we're going to see a high 23. I guess I like it a little on middle. I don't like it burnt, that's for sure. I also like BLTs. Oh God, I have not had a BLT in 7 years. See what I mean? I have so many recipes. To repeat them takes me like forever to get there, as my girlfriend used to say. I don't know. Oh God. I wouldn't even get out of bed at 2 below zero. That's cold. Very, very cold. Now, if you notice, boar bacon, wild boar cooks darker. Isn't that amazing? And they don't serve it thin. They actually cut it really thick, which is really nice. But you can see it cooks up darker than the other bacon that we get. But I do like it. Don't say anything. The only thing I've had this morning is a mushroom stone for breakfast and coffee. And I've been running around taking care of everybody. Yes, after it, my husband bought it for me. No, I've never tried turkey bacon. I don't even know what it tastes like. I think I found a Knish recipe in one of my cookbooks. But I don't know if somebody stole that cookbook too. I'm missing a lot of cookbooks. I have almost 200 now, but I had more. Okay. Well, thank goodness I never ate it. Salt. cook this whole time. If I find the recipe again, listen, I go through my cookbooks, there's so many recipes. You just have to keep on going and watching it, and if I find it, I'll make it. I couldn't see how they could make turkey bacon because it's not like a slab of meat that you can cut thin after you cure it. If I get that big refrigerator, I'll make my own bloody bacon. Anyway, I know pork belly, but I couldn't see how can they make it. And with turkey, they would need something to grind it up, bind it together, give it flavorings, and then make it look like artificial. They call it lab meat, and they use cancer cells to get it to grow. Hello, don't be stupid. No, I didn't put any makeup on this morning. I just put my lotion on. I didn't want any lipstick, nothing this morning. Because I put my earrings on and my lotion, and that was it. When I was under heavy stress, my hands were developing arthritis. They were starting to turn and twist. Sherry, I'm sure it is. I said I was talking about I couldn't see how they could make it look like bacon unless they did certain steps. And then that would change the whole texture of it, you see. So it didn't make sense to make turkey bacon because they would have to do a lot to it. Think about the way a turkey's built. It doesn't have the belly like the pork belly, because this is where it comes from. There's so much bacon here, I can enjoy myself. Thank you, husband. Sherry? I decided I'd be happy with myself. I went through my teenage years, makeup and all. I spent too much time putting makeup on. Get ready. Then before bed I had to take it off. I wasted too much time. And then my face was breaking out because it clogged my pores. I said, this is too much trouble. It's much easier just to not wear it. By the way, wild boar bacon is more chewy than the regular. Just letting you know. They have some other cuts of meat and stuff. I want to try alligator tail hamburgers. So alligator hamburgers would be interesting. I'd try ostrich too. Why not? We're at it, right? I'm going to try. I just have to talk my sons into giving me some extra money so I can do it. When I mentioned the alligator, they went, ooh, Mommy. I said, his tail is the meat. That's what you want. So you can actually see wild boar is much darker, and I'm not burning it, and you can see how dark it gets. Good morning, Kate. Cat. I should say cat. Hi, Angel. Come there's nothing in here. You should be cool by now. Come on. Yeah, you. Get the heat out. Mm-hmm. So if you buy wild boar bacon, understand it's darker. It does cook darker. And that's not burning it. Well, we're almost done, and that's it. Because I don't want eggs with this, but I know I do want a fruit cocktail. I just haven't decided if I'm going to serve it over cottage cheese or not. We're cooking wild boar right now. Are my sons strong? Well, somebody hit my younger son. He was walking down in the village. They were having a ride a couple of blocks away, and this person was taunting him, and he was just minding his own business. This is what goes on. I won't save the grease. I don't use bacon grease unless I have a recipe right behind it that says use it. It will be trash because all the nitrates and everything in it. So my grandmother, she would hold it in the back of the stove. Now, if you want to cook with bacon, I would strongly recommend, because I know there's a lot of stuff in bacon, put it in the refrigerator and take it out when you want to use it. I don't use bacon grease. I avoid it unless the recipe specifies. You'll never catch me using it. Oh, there's a lot of things that go good with bacon. Believe you me, I've been through a lot of them. Do you, Sherry, use that grease to cook with? Do you leave it on the back of the stove, or do you put it in the refrigerator? I'm going to have another piece of bacon. Listen, there's a lot here. I'm waiting for Cherie to answer. Uh-huh. You're welcome, Cherie. Do you use bacon grease? Where do you keep it? No, I'm pretty sure she did it herself. My grandmother was, listen, they're strong women. Oh, okay. Well, that answers that question. But I don't use it. I haven't, because I understand what's in it and everything else. But I will eat the bacon, okay? Now listen, I have to let you go. Now at this point, I'm going to clean my mess up and take care of myself. Okay? As they say. In other words, care for everybody else, and I'll be the last one on the list. Hi, Jessica. All right? So listen, take care, and don't worry, Cherie. I do not use bacon grease unless the recipe tells me, and believe you me, there'll probably be a fight, and I'll probably not listen anyway and do it my way. Okay? Take care and enjoy your day. Stay warm, everybody. It's cold, okay?